Hello and welcome to another show on CriKvoice. Another show of celeb chat, rather not a celeb chat, it's just a casual chat with one of my good friend who is now played at the highest level, the Test cricket. He just came back from Sri Lanka recently and he scores hundreds for fun. Let's meet Abhinav Mukund. Hey, hi Abhinav.
Hi Kishorna, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So thanks for joining us on this show.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So to begin with, right? So you have a sporting parents as they call. I mean, you don't have to look out for an external motivating factor where someone has to inspire you. So you have this advantage of seeing them seeing them play, and your motivation, your inspiration has to be your parents, right?
Definitely, a big part of why I started playing was my family. My dad used to go to the cricket ground when I was very young, and he always fought very hard on the cricket field. That's something that I took from him, and his discipline. If you look at the cricketing fraternity, both my uncle and my dad are known for that discipline. So these are things that I took from them, and obviously I worked really hard, but a lot of credit must go to my father and my uncle.
Yeah, when talk of discipline, yeah, we could see you on the field, right? You don't get into tussle with other players. You just go about playing your game calmly. So coming back to when I introduced you, I said you score hundreds for fun, right? So I remember you starting your state career for under 13 for Tamil Nadu, right? I remember you scored 190 odd in your debut game, right? So you must be remembering that. So how do you go about scoring hundreds, right? It's not that easy, right?
So again, it goes back to my dad. Whenever he used to coach me when we were young, he said never give away your wicket for free. I think he's always been he's been okay with me getting out for 0 or 10, but he's always been very critical when I got out after 40 or 50, because he thought it was a chance for me to convert. Also, the fact that he used to get out a lot in his 70s and 80s as a middle order batsman. Yeah, I'm sure you must understand that. Yeah. And he felt as an opening batsman I had a better chance to play the full quota of overs given, and that was drilled into me from a very young age. So I got that habit very early.
Yeah, after scoring so many hundreds and lots of runs and at the age group level, so you got your first break for playing for Tamil Nadu at a very early age, and you went on to score your maiden 100 first class level, be it in the Ranji Trophy as well as in the Irani Trophy, right? So going back, how do you feel? I mean, do you still remember your debut innings for Tamil Nadu and what it meant for you at that very early stage, because it was too early in your career, but still you got into playing first class cricket. So how did you cope with playing at a very high level?
Yeah, I was 17 when I got my first break in Ranji Trophy, and actually I was quite lucky that someone got injured and I was drafted in to play the last minute. I sat out the first couple of games. To be honest, it was all a blur for me. I didn't expect the call up, and when I did get the call up, I batted at number 3, which was a different position for me, and I just went out there and batted. I think I didn't think about it too much. I didn't plan on scoring 100. I was just free in my mind, and I just went there and batted.
In fact, it's too easy when you're young, right?
I think it's a blessing in disguise, to be honest, because the team was going through a transition phase, because a lot of players had left for a rebel league, and being a young player was good in that side, because you had a lot of teammates who were also quite young. A lot of those senior players had left, and I had come into the transition phase. And I quite enjoyed my time. I remember my debut innings, both the Ranji and Irani, I cherish it, because the Irani came against Bombay and this came against Karnataka. So
two good
domestic sides in the country, and it gave me real confidence that I could play first class cricket somewhere deep down inside. But if I look back at it, I didn't plan on getting 100, or I didn't plan on this way my career should go. It just happened, and it was all because I actually put in the hard yards, as I said, but the results that followed, it wasn't in my control.
Yeah, moving on, Abhinav, you became the first player to score 100, right, under lights when using the pink ball last year for in the Duleep Trophy. So how different it is to play the red and the pink ball?
There is a bit of difference. It's not too different from the Kookaburra red ball, but the ball loses a bit of color after 50-60 overs. It's a different experience playing test cricket under lights, because the timings are different. But I think there is talk of so-called reviving test cricket, and if that is the option to bring the public in, I think I'm all for it.
In terms of pink ball, we'll stay with the pink ball, right? So there were a couple of test matches in Australia, I believe. It ended in inside 3 days with the pink ball, and it was 2 grass was left on the wicket. So do you think that it is too much in favor of the bowlers, at least at the test level, where the quality of bowling is much better than the first class?
See, I think there have only been about 4 or 5 games played. I think there was only one game which has been tried out in the subcontinent. I think there was one game in UAE. But it will be interesting if it comes to India, because the surfaces aren't as green as you mentioned. And I think it might assist turn, because once the ball gets older and in the under lights, the ball started turning as well for Kuldeep Yadav last year. So it will be interesting if it comes to India. I should see probably in this tournament how different it is from the last year. Hopefully it comes into cricket, and hopefully we will see some changes in the future.
And talking of wickets, right? We'll stay with the wickets. Do you think the neutral the neutral venues, which was introduced by BCCI last year? So what is your take on the concept basically?
See, I didn't quite enjoy it, because the entire concept of like any cricketer like me and you growing up in Chennai, we wanted to play for Tamil Nadu at Chepauk, right? Everyone wants to play at Chepauk. There is no country in the world that plays their home games away, or their so-called neutral venue. I think it was a big. It wasn't. It was a trial by BCCI, and I was against it even last year, because we had a problem with the balls at venues, we had transportation issues, we had stay issues, so many logistical issues, and it's very difficult to manage it, considering we are about 27 states in the Ranji Trophy. So, well, we are back to home and away this year. The only thing is, last year was the first year out of all my years playing for Tamil Nadu that none of the games were rained off. So much of rain around. Hopefully we don't get the drainage facility is amazing in Chepauk, but that's the only negative for playing home games.
So how do you then take and tackle this issue of preparing wickets for home conditions? I know that comes with the fact that you have to win your home games and prepare wickets that are suited for your home team. So how do you negate? Because I remember the whole concept of neutral venues started after I remember I think it was Baroda or some teams, Saurashtra, right, they win 2.5 days, 2 days, so you get 40 wickets by just bowling darts. So how do you negate those when you have these home games?
See, if you're asking for my opinion, I think people grow up playing in home conditions. I think if the home team wins in 3 days in their home conditions, if you look at world cricket right now, this is what is happening in almost all countries. Australia are winning at home, South Africa winning at home, but they're struggling when they're going away. Bangladesh are winning at home now. So I think it's a challenge when you're playing an away game, that you go there and adapt to the conditions as a batsman and as a bowler. These are part and parcel of the game. I think that is the beauty of it. So unless the wicket is really bad and it's doctored to not suit good cricket, I think a home advantage is something that I am all for, because it's a challenge that anyone from, for example, if I go to Lali and play, it's a seaming track, so I enjoy playing in those conditions. But at the same time, if Delhi come and play here, then it's going to be assistive to the spinners, so it's going to be a good challenge for them. So I like the concept, and I think these are my thoughts on this.
So getting back to your your international stint, right? So what is that big difference between a first class cricket and an international cricket? So if you have to say it in one word, what would that be?
One big difference in one word is probably speed, because there is a very big difference right from the speed of the bowlers to speed in which the ball flies off the bat, and also the pace of the game in which it's played. I think everything is fast. That is a big difference from domestic to international cricket.
The crowd that plays a part as well.
See, nowadays with the obviously with IPL experience and even TNPL to an extent, there are massive crowds coming for cricket games. So I think we are almost used to playing in front of big crowds. But what I would say the difference is the pressure playing for the country is different. I think every young cricketer wants to wear the India cap, and I think
that fear of failure as well, right?
Yeah, fear of failure is there everywhere. You fight your own demons, you fight all sorts of thoughts in your head, but at the end of the day, if you look back at it, you've worked really hard to be there, and you want to enjoy every single moment.
In terms of in the Indian team, right? In terms of someone who's always talkative, maybe a chatterbox in the Indian team, who would you say? Just keep on talking, and who's full of fun.
Someone who keeps on talking, is it? Well, I have to say it could be Shikhar Dhawan, because he's the guy who's always, actually Hardik Pandya. Pandya is the guy who keeps talking. Yeah.
And finally, the Twitter outburst, right? So it was one of the most talking points on social media, as well as, in fact, you got a great support from your captain Virat Kohli as well. So on that.
See, I've been asked this a lot of times. They ask me why then and why not before, and it's just that when you're playing for the country, and when you have a voice on social media, I think it was important for someone to come out, and I've been getting that a lot on social media, considering I got a lot of traction after I got selected for the Indian team, and people should understand that. As I said, skin color isn't the only criteria for success or something, and a lot of people don't know this, but you will not believe how many people came out and spoke to me and said there were instances that this has happened to me, that has happened to me. I think people take it with not with a pinch of salt. I didn't take it with a pinch of salt, because I didn't want to. It was abuse, and I didn't want people after me to also face the same sort of abuse. I was hoping it could change the mindset. It has, and I felt like I did my bit.
Yeah, definitely, because lots of people, they grudge off air. I mean, off the conversation, where they tend to get really pissed off, but not many come out like that. So
there's so many cricketers from Tamil Nadu. You would have seen people call them Kari, Karupa,
yes,
all of these things, and it's not cool. It's cool when friends call you, it's fine, but when people on social media say things like this, and people who you don't even know, I think it's not fair, and I think I wanted to come out and say it, and I did.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So what about your beard, right? So we see a lot of people playing for the country, they are with their beard. So any superstitious there's, I mean,
No, I don't have many superstitions.
Because we see lots of even on-air commentators talk about Indian players, apart from their skill, they generally talk about their beard. So
I think because of the hectic schedule, you don't get the time to shave. Well, and not everyone's as good looking as you are, so we need to have a beard. We have
a young fan. I just wants to meet you. Interestingly, he's also Abhinav, and he's also a left-hand batsman. So probably you can meet him. You have anything to ask Abhinav, and you can probably ask him.
When did you start your first class career?
I started when I was 17.
And how would you manage your studies as well as playing for the country?
I wasn't playing for the country when I was studying, but when I was in school, it was really hard because I had to go for practice, and then because I missed classes due to matches, my parents made me go for tuition after school. It was really hard. I think playing cricket and studying was very difficult. My parents didn't want me to stop studying as well because they thought it was very important. Only after 16, when I thought I was going to do it professionally, that I stopped studying.
Okay, and when the ball is in the middle and leg, I always play like this. What is any correction?
Probably is saying that he misses to flick, right?
Yeah.
So he's not able to.
So why don't you try playing it straight? Why do you want to flick the ball that is on your pads?
No,
because
I'm not
anything
getting it. I'm just falling off.
You are falling off. So try practicing keeping your head straight and trying to hit through the line.
Okay.
And keep practicing, and hopefully you'll get better.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, he probably wants an autograph in his bat. Our director Hari is here, so he'll have a throw. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Oops.
I think you need to work on your catching. Anyway.
Okay, then that was fantastic, Abhi. It was great talking to you after long, after almost so many years. I know you are busy traveling all around, so let's probably wrap it up with quick rapid fire questions where let's see how much you know about yourself.
A rapid fire round, and unlike most talk shows, I don't know the questions genuinely.
So it is going to be a real rapid fire round.
Yeah, so hopefully there are no controversial questions. Hopefully there are questions that I can answer. But even if there are, I'll answer for you.
All right. So let's get into the question. So first one, you played your first test cricket, right? So who was against which bowler you faced the first ball?
Fidel Edwards, Ravi Rampal, either one.
One answer.
Okay, I'll go for Ravi Rampal actually. No,
First one was
Fidel Edwards. Okay.
Okay. Second one. Till now, how many first class matches you have played?
120 odd.
You're close.
I'm close, yeah. But see, I don't keep count. But I know someone told me recently I'm only 27. We played 120 games, so.
So very close, yeah. 122.
122.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many wickets you have taken in the first class?
14.
Again, you're pretty
17.
close. You're still close.
Oh God. 16. Okay.
Yeah, finally. And the final one. In the first test, what was the result?
My first test.
Your first test. What was the match result?
We won the game.
That's okay. The exact result. You remember by how many runs or wickets you won?
No chance.
Come on, it's your first test.
Well, okay, I remember vague facts about my first test, but definitely not this one.
Okay, you India won by 63 runs.
63 runs.
Game. And so okay, let's finish with another one. Where did you make your first class debut?
Chepa. No, actually first class debut was in Sri Lanka. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, before we wrap it up, I will ask you a trivia question. How many people did I make my debut with? And on the same day, 2 other legends made their debut, but 15 years before. If you can name these 2, I will probably gift you one of my cricket bats on the spot.
I think first one I know. First one was who
made their debut
for India
alongside me. There were 2 other players in the same game. And 15 years ago on the same date,
Sachin Tendulkar.
Wrong. 15 years ago, 2011, I made my debut.
Okay, the first one I'll give it a shot. 2 players along with you. 2011.
I got you. So it was Virat Kohli and Praveen Kumar. And 15 years ago, on the same date, Sourav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid made their debut.
Oh, I missed the bat from Abhi.
Anyway, so I know it's almost to an end, but before that, I wanted to ask you, you were a very passionate cricketer when you played, very stylish left-handed batsman. So what made you start this CriKvoice? What do you think? Where do you think this will go in a couple of years?
After having played the game for so long, I wanted to keep in touch with the game. I was writing blogs and I started this channel primarily to tell people that anyone can voice out their opinions. You don't have to be a real expert to talk about the game. And of course, meet people like you who after so many years I've played with you and many other cricketers, and I'm hoping to meet them all. So this is probably an opportunity for me to talk about the game with people who have played at the biggest level and brush up my knowledge as well. So that was the main reason why I started this channel. Hopefully it grows big, and in the future I get to meet a lot of people and grow to greater heights. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you all enjoyed it.
I would like to thank you for hosting me, and hopefully your channel grows bigger and better, and hopefully you have bigger personalities as well. Good luck to you for the future, and thanks for watching as well, guys, and hopefully you subscribe to his channel and listen to all the great talks that we had. The reason why I am doing this interview, this is something that you should also know, Kishorna. You were one of the few people when I was really young and in Indian Bank. I was 14 or something, and there are not too many people talking to me. A lot of uncles are there. You and E. Suresh obviously were one of the few people who spoke.
Not uncle then.
You are an uncle now.
Oh, yeah.
But so you are one of the few people who used to come and have a chat with me, being a left-hander, and made me feel very comfortable. So this is my opportunity to repay the gratitude that...
by the way, if you remember or not, I used to tell you will play for the country very soon, right? I don't know if you remember, but I remember after a game, I guess for Indian Bank, I said you will represent the country very soon.
I think on the Alwarpet game, I think so.
Yeah, so it was that game. So in fact, I messaged you saying that I told you play for the country, and you replied saying that thanks, Kishorna. So